Welcome back to our Plan Set 8 project here in our SketchUp for Schools, and let's run down where we're at so far. So over here in our outliner panel, which you can get over here on the right side of the screen, it's the second from the top. You only have this if you're in the SketchUp for Schools, so you're logged in through your school email. If you're just logged in through your personal email on the actual Trimble website, you don't have access to the outliner. So just be aware of that. So we have our plot, we have the garage foundation, we have that little pool room storage room back there, we have the foundation, and then we have our walls. And in our last video we finished up creating all of the windows and doors. In this episode we're going to look at the roof. So we want our roof to be a separate group from everything else. We want to always split everything. We can always merge things together, and if we don't want a group, we can always explode it and get rid of it. So you always want to make your groups first, and then if you don't need them, you can do something about that. Over here under your tape measure, which will be the default, we're going to click on the protractor tool. So this house has a roof pitch of 612. So that means that over the course of 12 linear feet, the roof is going to go up 6 feet. So over here, I want the roof to start right here on the inside part of my wall. So my protractor is right now going around the blue axis. If I hit the left arrow key on your keyboard, that forces it to go around the green axis, which is what I need. If yours is rotated around, then you probably need it to be around the red axis, which is the right arrow key. But for me, left arrow key will force it to be in the green. I need to click in order to set that center point, drag my mouse over top of this top edge of the wall, click again. That's going to create the 0 point. And now as I pull my measurement up, it's going to measure it from that 0 point. So we're going to type in 6 and then hit Shift : 12. And if you did everything correctly, it should be roughly that right there. We can always measure this by going to our line tool. Again, this is 12 feet. And then going up, it is 6 feet. So that slope is accurate. At this point, I simply just want to draw a line going it through. Then I hit escape to get rid of it. Let's go ahead and do the same thing on this other side. 6 Shift : 12. And draw my line. So that is the bottom part of our roof, because the roof sits on our walls. So from that point, now we can use our tape measure. Make sure that you kind of zoom out enough to where the line will turn pink, but it's parallel to our original line. We're going to type in 5.5, and we're going to do the same thing for this side. The biggest thing is to make sure you kind of see where that's going. So it shouldn't be red or green. It should be a gray color, and you need to make sure that it's kind of going up in straight up instead of out. So here we're going to do another 5.5, and if you did everything correctly, all of our lines should intersect. So we can go up to that point. We should see an intersection right there. If we don't, then one of your lines is wrong. So click on that intersection right there, draw on that, and once we get all 4 sides done, then that will enclose. Now I can erase my straight line. I'm going to erase that little line. And there we have the kind of the outline of one side of our roof. Let's take our push-pull tool, and I'm simply going to pull this side of the roof. I'm going to move, I'm still selected it. I'm going to move my mouse over top of the wall and let go. And so that's going to pull that wall or that roof to the edge of my wall. For this particular house, we have a 12-inch overhang. So if I go from the left side of the house, I can type in 12, hit enter. I can move over to this other side. Make sure, again, it's going on one of the axes, whether it's green or red, depending on how yours looks, to another 12 inches. We're just going to take our line tool and simply just draw a line along that guide. Take your push-pull tool, push that all the way back, and that will erase that part of the wall. Here we can go to the other side, pull that, bring it out to right there. At this point, I want to triple click on this, make sure that everything is selected, right click, and we're going to make that a group. Over here in our outliner panel, we see our group right here. We're going to right click on it. We're going to go down to rename, and this was going to be our roof. Let's hide that roof. And another way that we can enclose this roof is simply by using our walls. So let's go inside of our wall group, and I got these two little straight lines I'm gonna get rid of. Same thing over here. And I actually need to draw this one back. So if you don't have that line there, you can draw that in there. We want to separate this wall from this wall. So now that we have those two lines, I'm able to click on that top of the wall and nothing else will select. Take our push-pull tool, and we're simply going to pull this up to around there. There's no exact measurement, we just need to be higher than the roof. Next, let's go ahead and bring back the roof. And now we have a guide of where we need to draw. So I want to draw a line going from there to this under part of the roof all the way across. Take our push-pull tool, and we're going to push-pull that top part. If you have anything that stays, we simply just take the eraser tool and erase what we don't need. So that finishes that one side. We can come over here and do the same thing for this other side. And it'd help if I was actually inside the group. If these enclose, that is fine. It just automatically does that anytime you change things. And I'm trying to figure out what happened. There we go. Not sure what happened there, but it's okay. You can always redraw in these rectangles, and anytime this happens, then you can and that will fix everything for the most part. And then we simply just come in here and erase with the eraser tool with what we don't need. So we can select it, click on it and erase it, because again, it's not anything substantial. It's just a flat piece of rectangle. So now we have that. Let's go ahead and draw in again this line. Make sure that you're inside that group. Take your push-pull tool, and we're going to pull that. We're going to pull that up. Bring back the roof, and we're going to draw a line at the under point of the roof. And then if anything stays, just erase it. So one last bit, we're going to take the roof, and it's a 12-inch overhang, so we're going to pull this edge out 12 inches or 1 foot, and same thing for this one. Let's go ahead and hide our roof really quick. We're going to come in here and draw a ceiling. So for this ceiling, I'm simply going to take our rectangle tool, draw it from that corner, go over here to this other corner, take our push-pull tool, we're going to bring this up 4 inches. Triple click on it, make sure everything's selected, and come in here and make a group, and then rename this group and put it as ceiling. So now we have our ceiling in there, we have our roof, and we have our overhang, and everything separated into its individual groups. Make sure that you take at least 2 screenshots showing the different sides of the roof. You also need to show your outliner panel, and go ahead and hide the roof and show your ceiling. Thank you for watching this episode. Stay tuned for more episodes as we kind of finish up this house.